Hey there! I'm at the same woods, but I found a different way to get in. I made it! Well, something that I'm doing right now is taking care of an elder woman. I'm not really taking care of her, just visiting her every day for a week because she's my uncle's mother, and my aunt and uncle have gone on vacation, and so they asked me to check on her, and that was a really profound experience for me yesterday morning. I'm gonna go do that right after this. It really made me see how much it's really sad the way that elders live in our culture. It's very isolating. They can't do much, and they're just locked away in their little house. And they need young people to listen to them. In her phase of life, what she's meant to be doing is sharing the wisdom that she's gathered over her lifetime. And she can't do that by herself. She needs young people to come and ask her about her life and to take in her legacy. And I think it's a very, very sad thing when that doesn't happen. So even if she was in community with other elders, that's not really the way that elders are meant to live. They're meant to live integrated with people of all ages so that they can share their wisdom with them and so that they can receive. It's a beautiful giving and receiving. I give my youthful energy and playfulness, and she gives her wisdom and experience, and that's the way that it's meant to be. It's a really beautiful thing if you have any elders in your life, just to go visit them, because they don't have anything to do, especially if their mind starts to not work really well. It doesn't even occur to them to do something interesting. They can get into kind of a stupor, and it just really helps. It really, really helps. It's a huge gift to them to have a young person come by and even just spend 15 minutes just telling them about your life. Your life is so exciting to them. They just sit and watch TV all day, or whatever it is that they do. It's not that interesting. And if a teenager comes by and tells them, talk to her about your relationship problems, she'll love it. They love to hear about anything. The reason I know all this is because I used to take care of a 92-year-old woman for my work. And I just would show her all the photos that I had on my phone of random things and my family. She loved to hear about my family and my cats. She loved to hear about anything. It's pretty awesome, actually. It's kind of like YouTube. They just listen to whatever you have to say. You know why you should? Because someday you're going to be that bored, lonely old person. And I can only hope, first of all, that I live that long, and second of all, that there's some spunky young person that's willing to come and hang out with me sometimes and make my life interesting. Also, give them something to remember the visit by, because otherwise they might not remember, and if they have a physical object, that can entertain them for days. Seriously, days. Especially if they have dementia, they don't remember that they already saw it before, and it's fascinating over and over again. See, it's kind of funny, but it's also just true. The woman that I used to take care of, she had dementia pretty bad, and she was a wonderful person. I loved her. And I used to draw pictures for her, and I would give it to her, and she would just gaze at it for such a long time. She would just take in every detail, and that's the beautiful thing about people in that phase of their life. It's that's what they do. They take everything in a way that young people don't think they have time for. And that's a real gift to you, to us, to the young person, to be taken in deeply in that way. And, she might take it in for a long time and then put it down. A few hours later or a few days later, she can pick it up and do it all over again, because she might not remember looking at it before. So it means a lot to them. They get a lot out of any small thing that you give to them. They get so much out of it. Also, most elders are probably more interesting people than you realize from looking at them. That's something else that I learned. They are not what they look like. Like, she used to be, like, shocked whenever she would see her, like, little hand. She would be like, is that my hand? Like, they don't feel inside the way they look outside. And every elderly person has had a very, very long lifetime of experiences, and they probably were way cooler when they were young than you realize. And if you ask them about it, you will have really good conversations. It's all about the art of asking good questions when you're hanging out with elders. You know, you could probably just sit there and stare at the wall together for an hour. It's up to the young person to engage the elder in an interesting conversation. Yesterday I just asked her, like, what was one of your favorite things to do when you were young? Something like that. And one thing leads to another, and you learn a lot. And the other thing, the real gift, is that it's like midwifing a very important phase at the end of somebody's life where it's time for them to process their life and come to some kind of understanding about what it meant. And you can help them with that by asking them about it. It's really important before somebody dies. They need to go back over their life and think about what it meant to them, and it can be hard for them to do that by themselves, especially if they do have any neurological issues. Or they might just not have the motivation to do it by themselves, but it really helps them to, if there's a young person who is willing to kind of midwife this process, this end-of-life process, which is such a beautiful thing. That's it. Time to go hang out with her. Maybe a new video tomorrow? Maybe in 2 days. Peace.